Yeah, I just came back from school and I decided to record this because I discovered something about myself that I feel that not only I go through, that majority of us go through. So let me give you a little bit of context. So earlier today we went to our data structures and algorithm class and we got our test papers back. In my surprise, I when I was writing the test, I thought I was rocking it. But then again, I made so many small mistakes that I didn't get a good grade. But looking around, I discovered that most of my friends actually did have a good grade. And at that moment I felt disappointed in myself. And due to the fact that I'm not self-funded and all my school fees are directly on my mom's shoulders, it was kind of a moment of asking myself, am I really worthy to be sent to school, to go to school and to have access to all the things that I have, and yet I'm performing this poorly in school. And I realized that this is not only a me problem. I'm not the only one that goes through this. Many of us, as we're kids, we are grown in such a way, or we develop in such a way that most of the people around us, it's either they're comparing us to their kids or they're comparing us to someone greater. And though comparing people, or comparison sometimes in a sense is actually good, it's not always healthy for the mind. Because as I got my test papers, I started looking around, started comparing my marks with my friends. I started comparing my marks with all the girls in the classroom, trying to see if I'm the only one that got a low mark. And I realized that as a kid, not to put this on the people that raised me and all that. And yeah, so I'm talking about my mom. I was always made to compete. It's always my aunts, comparing me to the kid next door, or it's always my friends comparing my marks with their marks, you know. And whenever I never did good, they'll always make me feel like I'm a disappointment, or I never did good enough. And I realized that in the long run, though this happened a couple not a couple of months ago, but a couple of years ago, back in primary school, in the long run, it actually had an impact on me, whereby right now whenever I don't do good, I tend to to be harsh on myself. I tend to think that no, I'm a disappointment. Why me? Why I get into my whining phase and I start being harsh on myself. And honestly, though sometimes it is a great motivator, it it puts us in a hole whereby we think that if we mess up, and which we are allowed to do, because bro, we are human. We cannot always be 100% efficient. We can't always be passing every test. Now you're put in such a situation where you feel like if you mess up, you are a disappointment. You're undeserving of this particular thing. And yeah, I kind of feel like that's how I felt. So yeah, during that, after getting my test paper and actually coming to a realization that I have that tendency of comparing myself to others and being all harsh on myself, I realized that after coming down, relaxing, and talking to myself, journaling, and just properly putting my thoughts together, I realized that this is university, first of all. And sometimes you're not even in university when you're hearing this, but in school generally, though you are supposed to pass every single test, or you're supposed to pass at the end of the year, you're allowed to make mistakes. Mistakes is where you learn. When you make a specific mistake, you learn from that. You saw what you did in the past, and due to the fact that you failed, it didn't work, so you gotta re-strategize. Yeah, so you gotta put your thoughts together. Instead of being harsh on yourself, you gotta make sure that it doesn't happen again. Even if it does happen again, you know how to crawl out of it. So yeah, just came from school and I thought I might share this with you, because I realized I'm not the only one that struggles with comparing themselves to others. And I know for a fact someone in another country, in another continent, goes through the same thing, and hopefully this video does some impact on you. And whoever you are, bro, just know that you don't always have to compare yourself to others. You are good enough. Whatever you do, it's your first time living, man. No one ever got a manual telling them that this is how to pass this and this is how to do this and this. You just gotta learn from your mistakes and grow from them. Your mistakes are the manual. And yeah, so stay dedicated, continue working hard, and work smart, not just hard, because sometimes you might work hard, burn yourself out, but then again, you didn't really accomplish anything, or you can't remember what you studied, or yeah, I think you get the point of what I'm trying to say. But work hard, be determined, and yes, always include God in everything that you do, because He's the one that brought you onto this earth. So yes, it's Cherman Shivolo. If this video actually resonated with you, just give me a thumbs up. I will appreciate it for sure. And yes, stay dedicated, guys. Until next time.